welcome everyone. Is anyone here doing Gong meditation the first time? Okay. All right, great. So I'll give a little bit of just a brief discussion about the Gong, why we use various tools for meditation. One of my teachers used to joke around and say, if I was really to teach meditation, I should just walk into this room, hit the gong, and walk out. Now that being said, I think there is actually much more to the Gong meditation than meets the eye. Number one, the Gong is a very powerful sound, and it's technically a cleansing or what we would call a rebirthing tool. So whether it's the new year or another time, doesn't matter. The Gong is actually designed to kind of push through any blockage, whether it's creative blockage or relationship blockage or whatever it is that's going on in your life you're working on letting go of. It's always to set up the Gong. Always try my best to work in that direction. Have you even considered thinking about anything that is blocking you? You know, maybe it's a current job, or maybe it's a relationship, or maybe it's a thought pattern that perhaps you inherited from your parents, or maybe it's something else. So for different meditations, we were just talking, Renee and I were talking about this, how different meditations, even different sounds of chanting. So technically chanting is a section of meditation, and different chants will have a different effect on how you feel, right? For instance, if you were to do a swear chant where you're swearing over and over again, that would feel very different than chanting, let's say, a Bij mantra, like Om, the sound of Om, or a more soothing sound, in the same way that music, the really hard music, is different than the music we're playing in the very background. So the Gong is similar to a chant, in the sense that I think when we are done, you feel that feeling of chanting, of enchantment, right? Like even our English word, it's interesting how these words line up. I feel like I went into an enchanted forest, right? The feeling of chanting evokes this blissful state. Another thing I want to talk about is frequency. And so frequencies are basically sound is vibration in air. So different sounds will have different frequencies, will have different kind of levels of speed within them. You'll hear the gong, like when I hit the gong on the outside, it makes a very, like a slower frequency. We could say it's a lower sound. Well, we as humans, it's interesting how we classify these things, but we as human beings would classify this as, we call this low, right? And this we would call high. Trying to get this there. It's a higher tone. The frequency is different, right? In the same way, another saying is, if you look at if you want to know the consciousness of a city, look at its highest buildings, right? For instance, in many cities, in Los Angeles especially, you have these very tall buildings, New York, and these are all business buildings, right? They're very square, they're very linear. And so the consciousness of that city probably does revolve around the center of business. And in some towns, especially in places like India and in the East especially, some of the tallest buildings are actually the temples. And they do represent, in a big way, the consciousness of that city. The same is with frequency, right? Now, we can draw parallels with the gong. So the center of the gong, and for those of you who are watching, let's say, okay, yeah, you can actually see it. The center of this gong would represent our root chakra. So it's the very base of the spine. And as you work these systems out farther, so from the center out, you go through the 7 chakras, right? So that's one of the tools that we use. And you can hear the difference. Now, I never hit the center of the gong, though you could, if we say that stops the gong. But this is more towards the center. And then this is more towards the outer rim. So lower chakra, higher chakra. Sounds different, right? So we'll use this also in conjunction with the different chakra systems. Like today I'm going to teach some locks. So having the 7 chakras explained. Now, I'll do my best because we are somewhat limited on time, but I always teach meditation just to center in a little bit and actually talk a little bit, lecture about some element of the meditation. So in order to do this one, you do need to know a little bit about chakras. How many of you are familiar with chakras? You've heard those terms before, right? So we have the 7 centers. So you have the root chakra, Muladhara, Svadhisthana, the sexual center, so it's the base of the spine and the sexual center. Manipura chakra. So this is the center of like power and energy and literally the solar plexus, right? We call it in English, we call it solar plexus, like plexus of sun energy. We'll work a little bit with these 3. So root, groundedness, sexual center, creative energy. Solar plexus, energy itself, the energy of the sun. The heart chakra, so Anahata chakra. This relates to love and courage and compassion. And really the first, it gets above what we call the lower triangle. The first center where you get out of your service to yourself as a person and into service to others. Zach and I were talking about this. When we teach yoga, it is a service, right? It's a service to others. When you are helping a friend, when you're taking care of an elder, this is service to others versus service to self. So the heart center. So just for a second, just so this isn't purely sitting at an academic level and perhaps distance, put your hands over your heart. Just to feel, taking a deep breath. And exhale all the breath out. Right now, put your hand over your knee and see what that feels like. So, hands over the knee. Now, not that one is better than the other, but notice how it feels different than if you put your hand over your heart center versus over your knee. That's a different chakra. It's a different energy center of your body. The truth center, Vishuddha, the throat chakra. So this is the center of truthfulness, the center of living true, right? So satya, which literally means truthfulness, is part of this whole yoga practice. That what you say and what you do with your actions are lined up together. Ajna chakra. So Ajna chakra is here. So if you put your hand at your third eye center, a lot of times we'll do meditations with this. So the third eye, the ajna, relates to intuition, intuitive thought. And we'll just experience this just for a second. So let's just go ahead and put the middle and index finger over the third eye center. Now these are actually meditations that have been taught to me. I'm not making any of these up. Put your thumb over your right nostril and breathe in through your left. Hold it off with your ring finger and your pinky finger. Squeeze off the left nostril and then exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Squeeze it off. So right nostril is closed. Exhale through the left. Through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Seal it up, exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. I want you to keep going with this for a moment. And I want you to feel the center of creative thought. So as you start to explore the different chakras, the different energy centers, now whether you believe into the actual esoteric element of chakras or not, that's okay. It doesn't matter. When you are ready to learn something, you do. It may come in another life, and you can also treat it as a science. Meaning, The Ajna chakra relates to the pineal gland. So it relates to one of the master glands in the chemistry of your body. The mind is also, as we all know, the brain is located here, right? It's not on our knee, it's not on our foot. This is a chakra, the power of creative thinking, right? This is an energy center. And from a scientific perspective, you could just call it the center, the area of creative thinking. Aside from all the other things that the mind creates. So let's think of like a creative thought. So just personally, just like breathe in. And as you do, think of like maybe a new art piece or a new, and I don't know all of you personally, but maybe a new creative thing that you're working on. Charge it up, make it bright. So the color of this is a dark blue. Let's link it with Satya. Light blue and dark blue mixed together and swirl at the Ajna chakra. And then exhale again, so you're just balancing out this chakra. Okay, so you're going to keep going with that. And we may actually just do like let's do another 30 seconds. Just meditate for what it means to you. Maybe it's to cleanse and purify the mind. Right? We know yoga, that is one of the jobs of yoga. Is to kind of get ourselves out of the way, our separate selves out of the way. And clear our mind and being. Not just the mind, but the subtle bodies and so on. I'm not going to have time to go into all of those. Okay, then we have, so let's just now take a deep breath. Hold it. Put your left hand on your belly. Look up between the third eye center. Charge it up now. So I want you to squeeze the root lock. Run that energy up through the left hand, up through the Ajna chakra, and then up through the top of your mind. So the crown chakra, Sasrara, 1,000-petal lotus chakra. So you're creating this fluid river channel of creative energy through your body. And then exhale the breath out. And then just turn your palms upward. Rest your chin slightly down to the collarbone. Feel that subtle energy in your hands. Just notice how you, even after a very slow amount of time, a very short amount of time rather, the consciousness already started to shift a little bit. So we can use these different chakras in different ways. And today we're going to work on like a renewing chakra meditation. And we'll do it simply laying down. Okay, now, meditation is used in a lot of different ways, but one of the main things that I want you to get from this is deep relaxation. So I don't want you to force it. You don't have to push it too hard, like a physical, like warrior pose or something. Warrior poses are great, they prepare us, but I also want you to think of like that when you're doing these meditations, at any time, you want to just let go completely and just kind of zone into it, like a deep, drifting meditation of relaxation. Allow that to occur. Okay, so the whole time, I don't expect you to be doing this chakra work. As a matter of fact, it's quite intense. So what we'll do now is go ahead and lay down. We'll start working on this together. We'll do it in conjunction. I'll teach it, and then you can continue or let it go when you're ready. So go ahead and lay down on your back. And then we're going to apply locks. So you're going to take in a deep breath now. And think of like you're clearing the energy systems and any blockage in your systems by pulsing the sexual chakra, the sexual and root chakra. So squeeze that space at the very base of your spine 3 times as you hold the breath in. Hold, squeeze 3 times. And imagine light, and I use light blue or gold. So imagine like a swirl of light blue going up the spine to the mind, and then exhale the breath out. Good. Now we're going to link these 2 channels together. So the power center, and then we're going to put the heart center. So left hand on the power center of the body, which is over the solar plexus, and your right hand over your heart center. Pulse 3 times. Exhale the breath out. Okay, now we're going to breathe in again. Hold the breath in. Pulse 3 times. Now make it brighter. Make it expansive. Make it light up these 2 chakras, so the stomach and the heart center. And then exhale again. Breathe it in. Again, absorb this new life force. Breathe it in. Hold it in at the top. Pulse 3 times. Enliven it. Awaken it. And then exhale again. Now we're going to use this conduit, so your left hand is receptive, and it's going to come up. So imagine a conduit of light going up the left arm and then up through the crown chakra, so the top of the head. So inhale again, the top of the inhale, hold, pulse 3 times, and exhale. Okay, now, we've linked these together with the hands. You can keep it here, but I'm just going to say at any time just relax your hands, palms facing up by your sides. And then do the same technique and run that energy straight up the spine. Taking with it any blockage, any perhaps limiting belief, any suppressive, perhaps person in your life. Letting any of that influence dissolve so we can create new life force in this practice. New creative challenge. New creative channels open up. Using the power of the sound and the gong as well. Again, if at any time you find yourself comfortable and you just want to let these meditations go, let them go. You can stop at any time. It doesn't have to be forced. When these meditations become easier for you, you'll find you can do them longer. Vibrations now running through all of the nadis, all the subtle nerve lines of energy that run through your body. The thousands and thousands of energy lines. Cleansing and purifying. Revitalizing and nourishing every cell. Letting go of any lack, any upset.